what's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3TR. Welcome to the next episode of People's Questions. And I just so happened to be filming it on my last day here in Taiwan. I got a lot of pictures and a lot of footage, which I will be trying to upload over the next couple of days, or next number of days, probably while I am still in moving transition from my old house to my new house, so it might take me a little bit longer to get that footage up. But in the meantime, I'm going to answer your questions that you guys have sent me while I was on my trip here in Taiwan. And the first question comes from Macho Whisker, 17. You want to know, who is my favorite character in Persona 5? I have to be honest, it's been a while since I actually played Persona 5, so I can't remember their real names, but I can remember their code names. I would probably say my favorite companion is probably Queen. I actually love her character. She's kind of like the social media president, she's kind of sister to one of the main detectives. But she kind of has like a little bit of a fun side, and she has all these cool little side quests. So she like asks you to pretend to be her boyfriend and stuff like that. She's definitely probably my favorite companion, and she's got this really cool like atomic bike, and just her whole look is just incredible. So I'd probably say I would probably pick Queen as my favorite companion and probably favorite character in Persona 5. Next question comes from Matt Cruz. You want to know, what is my favorite Christopher Nolan film? Inception, without question. And not only that, Inception is probably my favorite movie of all time. Definitely better than, I would say, like the two following up contenders, which would be Terminator 2 and The Dark Knight, because between those two, I can't really pick, but I can say that Inception is better. What really made Inception stand out to me was, number one, the cast. The cast was great. And I think that was like the primary movie that made me a Leonardo DiCaprio fan. Because I wasn't really impressed with any of his prior work. I mean, I was one of those guys who, the guy was in Titanic, and he was in all these like kind of sissy movies. But after that film, yeah, I was a fan of his. I absolutely loved its visuals. I loved its story. The idea of going to someone's mind and planning an idea, and then it warping them as a person and changing their personality. I thought that was just an incredible storyline. I can go into so much detail. I don't even think I've done a movie review for that, but that's definitely something worth just having its own video all about, if you guys would like to see that. But without question, Inception is my favorite movie. Next question comes from xbias123, and you want to know, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter? Oh, that's not even really much of a question. Obviously, it's Mortal Kombat. I've never really been much of a Street Fighter fan, because I kind of like the concept of being able to completely mutilate my opponent after I'm done beating the shit out of them. With Street Fighter, you just knock them out, and that's just not good enough for me. I gotta kill these suckers, because that's just who I am. I think that's the ultimate sign of ownage, so definitely Mortal Kombat. And it has a better plot and better cast of characters anyway, too, so come on. Next question comes from Sentka Scorpion. You want to know, which game do I prefer, Final Fantasy 5 or 4? Definitely 5. I think 5's mechanics are a little bit better. I think its cast is better. I think the primary antagonist is definitely better. And I absolutely like how it has a really good focus on using the crystals. Now each crystal has a certain set of jobs. I would probably say that out of all the games that use a primary job system, that 5 is definitely my favorite with the use of it, because there's like maybe 3 or 4 primary jobs I tend to focus on, and since then I've been completely unstoppable every time I use those jobs. Next question comes from J-Bat, and you want to know, do I think there is a oh dear, I gotta get ready for this one. Okay. J-Bat asked, do I think there is a chance that I may like Wonder Woman? Absolutely not, because I will not see Wonder Woman. I will never see Wonder Woman. In fact, it's because of Wonder Woman I will never see Justice League. Look, on my last day, reviews of Wonder Woman are already starting to come out, and I've been hearing all sorts of good things. Listen, do not let me stop you from seeing it. If you see Wonder Woman and you have a fun time and you think it's a great film, that's fine. But me, I've always had a personal problem with Wonder Woman as a character. I've never liked her. I don't like that she's part of the Trinity. She is clearly the weakest member in terms of personality and character-wise and just reputation in the Trinity. We don't need her. The world's finest is perfect. I don't like when she interacts with Batman and Superman. It always pisses me off. I mean, that was like one of the biggest reasons I hated Batman vs. Superman. It would have been just fine if it had just been the two of them. But no, we had to shoehorn Wonder Woman in there. So, final answer, no. I'm not going to see Wonder Woman. Ever. To the day I die. There is nothing that anyone can say or do to make me watch that film. I don't like Wonder Woman. If you like Wonder Woman as a character and if you like the movie, that's fine. But for me, I want nothing to do with her. Period. Next question comes from Abiel, or Alba Mura. I hope I said that correct. You want to know what am I most looking forward to while vacationing in Taiwan? Well, the primary reason I came to Taiwan to begin with was to hang out with a very close friend of mine, and I did exactly that. I spent a good amount of time with her. We had all kinds of really crazy adventures, took all sorts of pictures and video, which I will be sure to upload over social media, and maybe a couple of clips of video on YouTube over the next number of days. But that was my primary objective and reason for coming here, and I'm happy to say that I definitely did achieve that. Now, there were definitely a couple of things I did extra while I was here that were fun too, but I'll be sure to talk about that in a follow-up video. So, yeah. Next question comes from Abiel, and you want to know, what is my daily schedule like? Standard week for me, it's basically just a combination of waking up around noonish, just, getting myself ready, working on videos, working on content, typing up scripts for the Versus series, typing up scripts for other videos, playing as much time trying to get as much footage and video games, then trying to script those and get them ready. But really, the period of time between sleep and work is basically just working on content for the channel, or just playing games so I can have more content for the channel. I usually go to work around 8 or 7 p.m. All my shifts are graveyard, so I usually will not get home till either 3 or 5 in the morning, and by that point I'm just way too tired and I just pass out, go to sleep, do it the next day. On my off days, I don't really go out much because I don't really have any friends in Vegas, which is why I would be more than happy to leave it so I can start all over and hopefully make some friends. But when I'm not at work, I'm really just at home, just playing games and working on stuff for the channel. That pretty much takes up all my free time, is you guys, and it's been like that for a number of years now, and I don't really see it changing anytime soon. So that's just my daily schedule. And the last question of the episode comes from HydroGoBlood881. You want to know, if I had to give Big Boss a mutant power, what would it be and why? If I had to give Big Boss a mutant power, I would probably give him Kitty Pryde or Shadowcat's ability to walk or move through material items or walk through walls. The reason I would give him that power is because it would be really helpful for him as someone who is a fan of stealth. It would probably save him a lot of trouble. Instead of having to maneuver and find little openings, having the ability to move through walls makes things so much easier. And even if he gets spotted, he can simply just materialize through enemy bullets or materialize through enemy attacks. I mean, having an ability like that would just make so much things easier for Big Boss. So that's probably the power I would give him. And with that, that is all the questions that you guys sent for this week during my last day here in Taiwan. If you guys have any more questions you'd like me to answer for next week's episode, which will certainly be in my next house, so be ready for that. Be sure to type your questions in the comments down below. If you guys have any more questions you would like me to answer involving my trip here in Taiwan, I'll be either happy to do people's questions next week or do just an entire video just answering questions about my experience in Taiwan, or if you want me to do that, let me know in the comments down below. And like always, I want to thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.